Everybody, it's Jeremy. Welcome back to Lucid's Tournament Game 7. This is turn 4. We are playing Helheim. Let's jump into things. Password. Password! I was just in here. I don't know why it's making me passwordy. Okay, so we've got those battles. Let's watch them. Battle in Konberg. Alright, so this is our slightly modified starting army. It's done well so far. Only 3 casualties. I held up 2 fingers when I said 3. That's not good math. And we thought we were going to go up against a relatively small force this turn, and we got a relatively small force. Oh, nice. Mostly militia. Should be a pretty simple battle. Let's go double speed. We got an air shield. A blessing. I didn't take him off hold. That's my bad. Now, there are a lot of militia, and don't forget, our serfs are not great. Mix in the heavy or infantry, and our serfs actually do break, unfortunately. But that's okay. They're crippled. They can't get away. So we break the enemy. We are mostly left with our Huskarls. Most of our Surf Warriors are either very injured or now fled. They have retreated. So, but we did win this province, so there is that. And now we have a battle in Ossense that we were a little worried about because there's only a small force of Hellherdings here. We've got 4 Hellherdings, a Hellcarl, Lugram, the Hellcarl, the Prophet Hellcarl, and then we have Hearse 2 here versus... yeah, this should be doable. We've got some slingers. They should be kind of negligent, though they might pop some glamours. We've got these Ekdromos, which are just okay units. These Hoplites, which are much better units, in my opinion. Very high protection. Very good. Long stabbies. But hopefully we're pretty kill. I say we're not very killy, but we're naturally significantly more killy than these guys are. So ooh, blasted by Lou Graham, and almost immediately we get some we get a knock out of our glamour. But we cut up those Ekdromos before the Hoplites actually join. Now, this is super dangerous because these Hellherdings do not face the Hoplites with these other ones. And more dangerously, these Hoplites don't fight. They're going for Lou Graham. And that is scary, except it is very likely that they rout before they ever even get there because of the damage that we are doing elsewhere. Now, we don't want this van to get... Ooh, very, very nice save from Lou Graham. We don't want deaths on the retreat, right? It's always dangerous when you get in front of a retreating enemy because then they have to fight you. They will not go around, which I think is kind of silly. Like, we have the ability to move around units in the game. I definitely, again, another thing that I think would be interesting for... future Dom 5, like Dom 5.5 or Dom 6, is just make fleeing enemies like fleeing enemies are other times you're smart enough to go boop around an enemy to try to like, or around an ally or something like that. Have fleeing enemies try to actually flee. Don't just have them get stuck on things. That makes no sense. That is very, very silly. They're still going to get chopped to bits as people attack them from the back, but, you know, I don't know. Anyways, so we win in Ossense. Very nice. We did not lose anybody. That is huge. Huge. I definitely expected to lose 1 or 2 Hellherdings when I saw this. So I'm very pleased with that. And, hey-cha-cha! Fortune. Man, I love Fortune. I don't want to play Misfortune ever again. We've got unexpected events occurring in Helheim. Well, I say that because these could be bad events, but they're not. They're not. So we've got magical bird of wondrous colors has been found. Small gems were hidden in its feathers. +1 air gem, +3 water gems, and +1 earth gems. Nice, cool. And then we've got unexpected event. A handful of magic gems have been found in the verdant greenery. +5 nature gems. Awesome. Single turn, 2 events, 10 extra gems. Dope. And we have a new famous hero. This is exciting. And it's partially exciting because I think it's been a while since I've actually played a multiplayer game where I got famous heroes. I keep playing relatively slow nations. Or like, can a god become a hero? Like Awake Expander gods? I don't remember. I don't know. I think they can. Regardless, we haven't gotten one of these in a while. We've got a heroic ability, and we got battle prowess. Interesting. So battle prowess is increased attack skill, right? I think it's just attack skill. Yeah. It's nothing else. So it's just attack skill, which is just a +2, which can go higher. Yeah. That will become increasingly better while it remains in the Hall of Fame. So, in theory, this could be pretty interesting. At a base, the Van Harris already has a light lance, which is a 3-length weapon, right? Which is okay for repels. But in theory, right, if we wanted to, like, maximize this in the mid-game for, like, thugging or something like that, we could try to put a... I mean, it's just a hearse, so we're probably not going to do anything. He's probably just going to die. But I like to theorize things, right? We could put like a nice lance on him, like what is it? Like the lightning lance, I think it is, right? And that could be cool. And then you have, so there are options, right, where we could actually like try to kit him out to be kind of like a repel tank. And combine his high defense skill with high repel chance. And that's kind of cool. I've seen a couple of thugs or super combatants that do that style of thing, and they can be pretty neat, right? That's part of the fun of Dominions is all the crazy stuff that you can. All right, so we've got Hearse 1 with battle prowess, and this is the turn. So this is turn 4. This is our first truly greedy turn. It's turn 4. We have 5 provinces. We are aiming for 8 provinces on turn 5. We have reached the threshold where we can safely, and what I mean by safely is we have gold left over. Right? And that's important because that gold is going to go towards early infrastructure, right? To try to support the aggressive expansion. So we have hit the point where we can safely recruit a hearse and 5 hellherdings, right? We could, in theory, pick up a mounted herdman. That's tempting. That is honestly tempting because mounted herdmen are still good, right? They're almost as good as hellherdings are. It's not quite. We'll go with that. I feel like we need a little bit more power than we need the potential infrastructure at the moment. So we've hit that point. That's very good. That means that we can be very aggressive with our expansions because we are going to be popping out an expansion party every single turn now. And those expansion parties have high mobility, very high mobility. In fact, we have 26 map move on the Van Heers, 24 on the Hellherdings, and 24 on the Mounted Herdmen. So we can go very, very far, right? We can jump provinces. That's very important. That means that our expansion opportunities are significantly less constrained than a lot of people's normally would be. So that is a long-winded explanation to say that we have the opportunity to get aggressive, to get greedy, and we are going to take that opportunity to get aggressive, to get greedy. And it might result, it's probably going to result in us losing expansion parties, getting bumps, and meeting our neighbors on very fronts. So we're just gonna have to see how it goes. Now we are still kind of like following. We don't have enough forces to really combine and alpha strike areas yet, but we are trying to keep eyes on different scenarios. We have. I'm still not sure about that. So we're still following the path of least resistance. So over here, Lou Graham. Oh, I need to. Whoops. Over here, Lou Graham. I just did this turn, so. Is going to be heading into Lombaria. Now, we can see there are mostly militia and slingers over here. I will say this. It is only 2 away from whoever the hell this is. There is a significant chance that this is going to turn into a bump. And this is not a very strong group. That being said, Lou Graham has shown his strength with Watery Death. That's gone very well for us. And I'm very confident that, I'm pretty confident that these Hellherdings can take on the militia and slingers. It's just a matter of could they take on whatever the bump might be. And that is a crapshoot, because this could be anybody, right? This could be Abyssio with fucking tanky ass fucking. We're dead. Right, dead. This could be Marverni. Marverni, depending on what they're sending out, we could take. Kalem. This could be Kalem. And that could work for us depending on what their orders are, right? If they have a strong bless, it gets a little dicey. Mind Blasters. Mind Blasters will eat us like fucking nothing. Tiernanog, hit or miss, right? Or if they're expanding with small groups, that could be bad. That could be okay with us, but it depends on how aggressive their bless is. If they're using like a lot of their basic chaff units to expand with, that could be very good for us. Kind of a similar scenario with Memoria, right? If they're using a lot of their basic chaff units, we might be able to like tough it out. If they're using a bunch of like Furbolg, warriors and things like that, we might be able to defense tank them. Otherwise, it's probably going to look a little nasty. And Hinam, oh god, that's just a scary proposition all around. Even if they're not using Hellblessed Giants, it could still turn into a shit show. Just their basic units can like kill us in one hit. So very, very interesting situation there. And the a similar scenario over here with Hearst 1. So Hearst 1 has a significantly smaller group now. Lost 5 of the Surf Warriors, and 4 of the Surf Warriors ran to Palmania. So a greatly reduced force here, but we're gonna try to be greedy, and Hearst 1 is gonna go after Dendra Nigra, which is Woodsman and Woodsman Blowpipes. Now I am hopeful that there are no like Blood Druids here. We don't see any vine things or anything like that, so hopefully it's just going to be Woodsmen, and we're going to be able to cut through them. That would be really nice, but again, only 2 away from 19, so this could be an aggressive bump. What we're trying to do is we're trying to posture for potentially taking Pergami for 11, right? That would be really good for us. And on that note, right, we have seen the Deer Tribe kind of dwindle down. I'm assuming that they're probably closer to like 40 or so. We are sending Hearst 3 with 5 Hellherdings into Sinafe. This could be disastrous for us. We could lose the entire group, the entire expansion party. So each one of these has the potential to fail. I'm fairly confident about Lombaria. I'm fairly confident about, a little bit less confident about Dendra Nigra, and I'm quite a bit less confident about Sinafe. However, each of these I do think has the chance to succeed, even though there are the possibilities for bumps. I am under the assumption that we will at least get one of them, which would result in a turn 5-6 province expansion. My assumption is we will get two of them, which will be a turn 5-7 province expansion, and that we will lose at one of them. Either we will bump with someone and get thrown back, or we will lose, we'll lose the Deer Tribe fight or something like that. So that is my assumption. But I think worthwhile, right? It's worthwhile to be aggressive at this point for this scenario. Now, a double thinking back on what I was planning here with Hearst 2, I was sending Hearst 2 over here to potentially pick up these Surf Warriors in Polmania, but they are wounded, right? We've got a chest wound and a weakened over here, and they don't really have very high map move. They're not going to be very useful, even if I were to take them back somewhere. I think it is probably going to be better use if we just head Hearst to... Now, we have two options, right? We could start site searching, right? Or we could try to get information. And I think in this particular situation, information is going to be the better bet for us. So if we move down here to 131, right, we are going to be able to identify who is in 117, and we're going to be able to see several provinces, right, that we cannot see right now. 123, 117, 112, and 126, and be able to kind of get an idea, an understanding of whoever is in 117, where they have moved, where their direction has gone, because we might see someone in Aldegold next turn, or Titan's Breath next turn, or we might come down here and see that they haven't moved into any of these three. So obviously they will have had to gone down to 99 or 119. So we're kind of going for information there. Speaking of information, we have our first neighbor. We have Sauromatia to our north, and this is interesting. So Sauromatia can be played in many different ways. They take a bless very, very well with their Oirapatas, right? Very good blessable units, much like mine. A little bit cheaper, a little less, I think, overall stat line maybe. Although actually I think their stat line might be better. They have better protection, definitely. I think they have less inherent defense. They've got tattoos, which are cool, but they aren't stealthy and they aren't glamored, right? That's basically the one-up that we have, is stealthy and glamored. So that's cool. Oirapatas can take a bless very, very well. Androphages can take a bless pretty well as well. Though I think not as well as the Oirapatas is the general concept. These guys have a poisonous bite, which is a debilitative poison, which is cool, but I think most people end up favoring the Oirapatas instead. And they are a communion nation, right? The Inaris, and more specifically, I think it is the Inaris. Yeah, I believe so. Yep, it's just the Inaris. So the Inaris are Astral 1, Death 2, which just, obviously that's like, oh, that's Communion City. Communion City, baby, right? You just pump out Inaris for the rest of eternity, and they are not cap only, right? You've got Hydra Tamers, Manflayers, and Witch Kings are cap only. But Inaris are anywhere. So you just start spamming out these bad boys, get crazy good communions. They're a little expensive, mind you. But I say that. I say they're a little expensive. They're really not expensive for what you're getting, actually. I think Inaris might be some of the most efficient mages for what you're getting. If you consider that most mages, you get four paths here for 145 gold. We were to check like our base mages of Vanhurst, we've got 120 gold for 2 paths, basically. or a Van Harris, 260 gold for 5 paths, basically. Yeah, so now granted, those are sacred versus not sacred, thuggable units versus not really thuggable units. There's a lot of different trade-offs here, but the Inari is an amazing mage, and that's scary. What is good, though, is that we can see they have not moved towards their southern border at all. This gives me hope for Bright Gate. We're going to see what we have going on next turn, and we might try to hop over and just now that we've hit this point to where we're like, oh, we're expanding aggressively, we could take Brightgate without the need for Brightgate's resources, right? Like, that could be a thing. We could be like, oh, well, we'll just take Brightgate even though we are not connected to Brightgate yet, just to be like, no, this is ours, right? And that's a greedy, very expansionist, opportunistic move, but it's definitely something that we could potentially do. And then we could combine efforts at a later date to try to, like, take Rame or Tiny Willow, even potentially taking Zimria. So, I'm talking about a whole bunch of random shit. Another mercenary check. Marverni picked up the Shipwreckers, which I actually noticed first because I was checking the Hall of Fame, and Shipwreckers are in the Hall of Fame. So, very interesting. All right, I think that is going to be it for the turn. Hope you enjoyed. Very exciting. I'm so into this game so far. Like, I'm really enjoying it. I'm excited to be into a new game. Really wanting to see how things pan out. Hopefully it goes well. I think it could be pretty cool. But anyways, that's going to be it for the turn. I will see you all next time. Bye, everybody.